Hi everyone, XDC is the topic of the video. We're going to dive into some latest news and information. Go plugin XDC's decentralized Oracle is now tackling agriculture. I want to show you this new partnership. It's pretty awesome. We're going to look into that development. Also, Treasury yield funds on the XDC network. That is some explosive news. We're going to cover that. Also, we're going to look into some future events and information. We're going to go over an article from Bloomberg where XDC was featured. I'm also going to go over a video from Global Blockchain Association to give everyone a different perspective on things. If you're an XDC fan, you don't want to miss this. Please watch the video all the way to the end, and let's go ahead and dive in. Keep your crypto safe with a DCENT biometric hardware wallet. With talks about cyber attacks or exchanges going down, it's imperative to keep your assets safe. And just know with DCENT, your private keys are your private keys and only you have access to them. In the description below, I'm going to put affiliate links where you can receive $30 off the retail price. There's also a 2-wallet package deal that's a great value. There's no need to wait. Order your wallet and keep your crypto safe now. Anybody that has been following Meliter, they know how important it is for mass adoption of blockchain technology to keep records and make sure that everybody is playing on the same field. Very important. And what is very special about the XDC network is that it actually helped to mold Meliter. And then in return, Meliter is actually helping to pave the way. It's an awesome relationship there. So this is a post from Andre Kasserman. Institutional investors active in the distribution space and looking to allocate capital to open account trade and factoring portfolios need to consider the end-to-end policy developments. The Meliter and the ETD Act's new English common law solutions offer tremendous value in this regard, in particular when combined with automated securitization or tokenization. He states here, excited to report on these industry developments at the upcoming Trade Finance Investor Day at Watford, United Kingdom, the 19th and the 20th of October. So that is another event to look for. And check out this graph. It continues here. The most advanced members of the DNI initiative and the TFD initiative will demonstrate how they bring specific value to the industry. So look at this chart here. I like how he breaks it down. The single largest fintech community in global trade and supply chain financing. So you got the DNI initiative to the left, you got the TFD initiative to the right. So to advocate for Meliter around the world, to deliver a contract-based solution, to develop a Web3 interoperability framework, to achieve Meliter in banking and logistics, to scale SME financing, and to use interoperable digital trade solutions compliant with Meliter. So you have the DNI initiative that is really applying Meliter to these real-world solutions in this blockchain-based solutions. Then you have the TFD over here to democratize access, to standardize distribution practices based on automated securitization and tokenization processes, to support a full set of distribution practices, to scale distribution by attracting additional capital markets. So it's breaking down the differences of the DNI and the TFD initiative in their approaches. All right, there's a big conference in October. Andre Kasserman, the CEO of the TFD initiative, says that the plans for next month's conference are coming together nicely. Let's go ahead and listen to what he has to say.
I'm terribly proud of the work we have achieved over the last few weeks to handpick really the most recent innovations that are of importance for our target audience, banks, alternative lenders, and institutional investors. The Investor Day is all about demonstrating how we, as an industry on the trade side, can attract more institutional liquidity into the market. And to attract this liquidity, we need to help the originators implement the originate and distribute market practice that TradeTech enables. But it's not just about, indeed, the distribution technology that TradeTech offers. It's also about additional technologies that originators are using on the origination side, indeed, with their clients to source transactions, and additional technologies that are being used on the distribution side, like tokenization. And during the Investor Day, indeed, we're going to have the XDC network team also presenting how much they are focusing on trade finance and the tokenization of trade finance to grow the community of investors and to enable investment products to become much more accessible to new investors, including, in the end, retail investors.
Here we have Andre Kassaman highlighting Anthony Wadsworth Hill and securitization technology. So Anthony Wadsworth Hill, the CEO at Mercor, explains how the democratization of trade asset securitization enabled through SaaS technology supports alternative lenders and smaller banks and factors adopt the originate and distribute market practice. As Anthony puts it, securitization doesn't need to be restricted to the big asset originators, he adds. Other emerging entities such as Mercor can start to play a role in that and make the smaller transactions more bankable and investable by capital market players. So Mercor is an early adopter of the originate and distribute model through both the DNI initiative and the TFD initiative. So there you have all XDC highlighted right there. Let's go ahead and give a listen.
Securitization, from the way I see it, it doesn't need to be restricted to just the big asset originators. Other emerging entities can start to play a role in that. But also the themes around due diligence on underlying customers and how we can make the smaller transactions more bankable, more investable. Previous concerns around regulatory fines or getting access to that information has been deemed too complex. And with Mercor, we're seeking to find a more efficient way and demystify that and bring a level of confidence to the investor base around the underlying key factors that are happening in those underlying transactions to get them comfortable with it. A lot of the issues that banks have been hit with in recent times hasn't necessarily been credit losses. There've been losses that have been derived by fraud or being derived by failures in financial crime controls where the biggest penalties have been issued. And that's what keeps the accountable executives in these organizations awake at night, and we want to help them sleep better.
Here's a new development for plugin XDC's Oracle. This is awesome right here. Introducing Cropwire. More than just a platform, its next agricultural evolution. Gain real-time visibility across the supply chain, automatic compensation for crop losses, and an innovative marketplace exclusive for farmers. Powered by plugin. Now this is incredible because they're already tackling the healthcare industry. Now they're getting into agricultural, and it's only going to get better. I mean, they're going to tackle more industries. There's going to be more use cases coming out of this. As the world is aiming towards sustainable solutions, we know that farming is massive. So this technology is going to be extremely explosive. I'm going to put the website down below, but look at this. Futuristic crop compensation with Cropwire. Shows all the different things and features, enhanced security, transparency and traceability, Cropwire marketplace. Pretty amazing. It shows the process of scanning the QR code. You can view your food journey. More great news for the XDC network. This is in Bloomberg. This is a Bloomberg article. So the XDC network enhances compliance with LEI integration. XDC network integration is carried out using the GLEIF or GLEIF API, which will provide access to the full LEI, which is Legal Identity Identifier. So this is for data search engine functionality, which includes filters, full text and single field searches of legal entity and ownership, information, and fuzzy matching of relevant data fields such as names and addresses. In addition, LEI reference data. The GLEIF API will also make available further related data, reference data of LEI issuers code list used in LEI records, and mapped identifiers like the BIC or ISIN codes. The implementation of the LEI is another milestone for the XDC network in the space of trade documentation, digitalization. They recently announced their integration with the IMDA's Trade Trust, the utility that helps to enable trusted interoperability of electronic trade documents across digital platforms which meet the requirements of the UNCITRAL, and Meliter. Now, when this news broke out the other day, I was very excited to hear this news. This is great. Andre Kasserman posted, TradeTech launches a U.S. Treasury bond token on the XDC network. Now, after the Austin event, this was shortly announced. So TradeTech, marketplace for private credit and real asset and provider of securitization as a service, has announced the ability for accredited investors to get access to a multi-billion-dollar exchange-traded U.S. Treasury yield fund, or USTY. It will be tokenized by digital asset leader Securitize on the XDC network. The new USTY token is significant because it expands low-cost access to the yield generated by institutionally managed U.S. Treasury ETF in a digitally native format. Investors in the tokens will have the exposure to U.S. Treasury securities with remaining maturities between 0 and 1 year, allowing corporate treasurers in particular to optimize cash management strategies. The new token is open to accredited investors directly through YieldTech. So if you'd like to learn more about it, you can go through YieldTech if you're thinking about investing. But it continues here that the XDC network's blockchain technology provides USTY with a secure and robust security framework and a solid platform on which financial instruments can be distributed in a scalable and accessible way. So very serious deal here, built on a very serious blockchain, that's for sure. So with its integration into Securitized digital asset securities platform, the XDC network supports a comprehensive ecosystem for real-world asset issuance and trading. TradeTech's launch of the USTY security token and the integration of the XDC network into Securitized digital securities protocol together marks a significant milestone towards the issuance of a real-world asset on the XDC network. That's from Billy Siebel, Executive Director of XDC Foundation America. And these efforts have brought to the promise of a secure, scalable trade finance solution on the XDC network into reality. Recently, we've gone over the XDC Trade Network, and right now they're showcasing their one-stop solution for trade, digitalization, liquidity for trades at the largest trade event in Singapore, the GTR Asia of Singapore 2023, and that is a big deal right there. Sunil is pictured all the way to the left. All right, we got another exciting event for the XDC network, as they are going to be sponsoring the Bybit Crypto Arc and Crypto Hub Present, which is a blockchain vanguard event. And that's going to be tomorrow, and that's in Dubai. We know that Dubai is building basically a crypto hub for the world. There's going to be a few hubs, and Dubai is going to definitely a hot spot for crypto innovation. So they state that there's going to be a couple key speakers, connections with the XDC network. For example, you got XVC Tech and XDC network ecosystem. There's also going to be a Neri Merchant, an investment manager. So something to watch for. XDC and gaming. Check this out. XDC network chosen as backbone for DGaming's Web3 revolution in gaming. The backbone. That is serious there. So the global video game industry, a juggernaut boasting billion-dollar revenues for years, is on the brink of a monumental shift. In 2022 alone, the industry raked in nearly $347 billion in revenue, with a substantial portion of the wealth originating from mobile gaming sector, contributing a staggering $248 billion to the total. Wow, that's a lot just for gaming, This financial behemoth is now gearing up for the transformative evolution as pioneers like the Gaming Group and their integration to XDC network embark on a journey to redefine the gaming experience within the Web3 landscape. So in a recent LinkedIn post that sent ripples through the industry, the email Ahmed unveiled a new role as Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of the DGaming Group, a visionary project that is set to reshape the iGaming landscape by integrating XDC's Web3 technologies in a significant move that is set to redefine a landscape of Web3 powered gaming. That is serious right there. Now I want to show you this clip that was put together by Mr. Mann. This is from the Global Blockchain Association. I think it's worth a watch because it just gives us an idea of this new industrial revolution and how big this shift is. A lot of the old markets are going to end up getting shaken up. And I believe a lot of that money is going to be redirected and refocused towards the future, data is the new oil?
Ignorance is our greatest enemy, but also our greatest friend. For the masters, their ignorance is an advantage. So we get unprecedented space to develop this, uncorrupted by human fragility. But for the masses, it's a challenge, and it's a race against time. Like, how can we explain it the simplest way that the most people get it? And what I do is, being in politics is breaking down the complex to the very simple. And what I tell people is, I say, listen, new things come all the time. This is it. This is not a penny stock, no, some new far-flung gizmo. The blockchain will consume all. And and a lot of people say, well, I don't know, I'm going to get into that. I said, well, do you like money? Oh, yeah, of course. Well, then you need to understand. Don't be just, automatically, crypto, blockchain, I don't know about that stuff. It's like, yes, you do. You do know about it. Because nothing is new. It's completely different, but it's exactly the same as everything else. I wasn't around in 1993, but if, say, somebody came to you and said, hey, your church, your friends, your family, your games, it's all going to be on this place, man, called the internet. People are like, what, the internet? How is that a mall? Like, no, it's a place. But honestly, who could fathom that with how total is right now? Raise your hand if in 93 somebody told you all those places. You would have been like, yeah, I could see that. Of course. Oh, somebody, I see it. I got you, but you probably was in it. Yeah, you was, right? This is what I tell them. You don't know about it, but you know the feeling. Don't allow your weakness, your pride. I've got money in real estate and I've got in stocks. I said, not for long. Not for long. Anybody that thinks they're rich, thinks they're smart, and they're not in crypto will experience pain soon. There's a correction coming. Maybe some of you guys don't agree. I said, there's a correction coming, and soon. Whether it's a crash or a collapse, I'm not here to speculate that. But I do know that we have to start looking at not just crypto, but the blockchain applications more comprehensively. And that's why, pushing these efforts forward is so critically important. It's not extra. It is the thing. I worked for JP Morgan doing hedge fund private equity sales from 2006 to 2009, 345 Park Avenue. My first job was, I was the analyst doing investment review committee. So I had to walk up and down Park Avenue, bringing on hedge funds or private equity that wanted to get money from the bank. Yeah, okay. But the biggest obstacles is actually the trust that we have. We've seen it go up, and now it's going down. We ought to connect with our people in the government in all ways, not just the ones who actually understand it or have access to it. And actually, that's one of the biggest things about our process. So right now, we're in the process of putting together our policy recommendation. And we've interviewed about 9 different companies who want to actually service Dade County. I won't mention their names. You know all of them. But one of the biggest things I asked them is, okay, well, not just how much money would you like to make from this deal? And they're like, oh, well, we don't think about that. Well, I asked them, how many employees are in Miami-Dade County? And they're like, well, gee, that's a good question. I don't know. It's 29,000. But these are the people that's like America. I've been in crypto since 2012. But you cannot assume that a chat talk or a Zoom is going to be sufficient to properly make them feel secure about what's happening. They see their paycheck, they see crypto government, and it's ignorance is a driver for fear. So the biggest component for anybody who wants to service us is, what is your actual spend, what is your resources to bring education to Miami-Dade County, to our citizens, to our aunt that's been there 17 years, to my uncle that's been 27 years working. They want to have a better future as well. They want to be more secure, and they're looking toward it. But blockchain being transparent, being immutable, being the system we have is the best way. And we're making them realize that. It's 2017, since I came back to America, I spent 8 years in China, running our business and creating companies out there. But since 2017, since I've been back, I've personally pulled up to quinceañeras, bar mitzvahs, in the homes of county mayors, of commissioners, of department heads, and I've personally helped them download their blockchain.io or however wallet they had and sold them their first $100 or $1,000 of Bitcoin or ETH, not knowing that this time would come.
Well, everyone, that's all I have for the video. I want to say thanks for watching another edition Token Topics.